Hi guys, Ben here and welcome to today's video on business growth strategy for 2020 COVID-19 edition. I understand COVID-19 has been massive. At the time of filming this video, we are on a lockdown here in the UK and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I understand that most people's business growth plans have kind of changed into business stay alive plans. But what I want to do in today's video is just go through a few points in which I think people need to kind of look at before they just run around in this crazy panic state and just start mothballing everything, cancelling off anything that costs money, and just generally kind of panicking before stepping back, taking a breath and assessing the situation. That leads me on to the first step, which is to look at your current business plan, marketing plans. Look at where you are currently at against your targets. What effects are you seeing right now? What's the trend been over the last few weeks since we've been in lockdown? Is it calming down? Is it getting worse? What are your clients saying? You know, what effects are you seeing in your business and what are you having to counter? You need to prioritize those, especially if you're needing to kind of adapt and change with the business to provide the service that you do. I understand it takes a little bit of time for some businesses. You know, if you don't have your DRP on point, you need to kind of make a few changes and kind of steady the boat, so it were. So first step is looking at your current plans. Are they realistic? What have you seen over the last few weeks? What's changing? What do you expect to happen? What are you kind of forecasting for the next couple of weeks until it settles down? You know, what are you seeing? What are you going to need to change short term quickly and prioritize that? But what you don't want to do is just cut everything because we need to save costs. We don't know how long it's going to last, because that's not a plan. You're just cutting everything. You need to understand what you're cutting and why. Obviously, second point, you need to ensure that your business can run as remotely as possible. Now, this won't apply to all businesses, but pretty much most service-based businesses, things like that, you know, we're having to adapt to working remotely because if you've not got key personnel, you know, and people are being told to self-isolate and stay at home, you still ideally want them to be able to perform their job. So things like laptops, mobiles or VoIP phone systems, you know, these things are quite essential. These companies have got quite a run on them at the moment, why people are kind of rush buying laptops and things like that. So you obviously need to make sure that short term you've got the systems and processes in place that is going to enable you to perform that main function of your job and ensure that business continuity. Once you've got that short term patch over it, you can actually perform the work that you need to do. You know, people can operate from home. You need to look at the opportunity. Now, I know people are like, what do you mean opportunity? Are you nuts? Like we're all on lockdown. But in any times like this, there is always opportunity. But it might mean that you cannot run your business in its existing format in exactly the way you currently do and still succeed. And what's a real shame is you're going to start seeing over the next few months, businesses go to the wall because they just won't adapt. They won't pivot slightly, they won't change slightly. They will just basically cease to be because they won't adapt. And it is a case of looking around, what are the opportunities? Is there any market space next to you alongside? Are there any related businesses that you could kind of go into? Is there a different delivery mechanism or a way that you can present it? For example, you know, personal trainers and all of this. You know, there has been a massive run on gym equipment. A lot of people that go to the gym have made sure they've kitted out their houses, that they have something at home, but they still need tuition. So a lot of the smarter fitness trainers are going, right, we're going online, I'm doing virtual classes, okay, which is a short-term fix. But why does it need to be a short-term fix? Why is it not a long-term opportunity? If you're doing remote classes, there's no traveling time. You can do everything remotely, which means that instead of being able to target a market that is a very small radius, you can target pretty much anyone in the world. You can also do group lessons. There's nothing to stop you having 100, 1,000 people following your class from anywhere in the world, paying, you know, X amount. These are massive opportunities for people to look at their business and say, okay, how do we take this up a notch? How do we make our product digital instead of relying on logistics and post to send it out? How do we, instead of doing face-to-face training, how do we deliver this virtually now via Hangouts? You know, award ceremonies and events, virtual award ceremonies and events, you know, even down to things like nightclubs and stuff will be shutting. You know, it's killing pubs, restaurants and things like that. But, you know, younger people especially, they're still going to want to go out. You know, I think this will push forward technologies like virtual reality. You know, people will be able to get an app or a game, put their virtual reality headset on and be out clubbing with their friends, but they're in their room. You know, which will all sound really strange, but for me, this is just logical. It's a way of, if your customers can't come to you anymore, find a way that you can go to them and service them. You need to look at the opportunity in this situation. And sometimes it involves getting creative. Sometimes it will, you know, entail morphing in something that's almost unrecognizable. But most businesses have a massive opportunity here. And also the sad fact that a lot of businesses will go to the wall means that the businesses that do adapt, their competition is going to shrink a hell of a lot, which means there is a lot more opportunities to the people that do adapt, which brings me on to my last point really, which is adapt or die. And, you know, that might sound a bit brutal, but I really believe that the businesses that just try and mothball, don't do anything about this and just try and ride it out, I think they're just going to die a very slow death, because they will find their competitors adapt, find clever ways to get to those customers. And by the time they can react, it's going to be too late. So don't be one of those. Make sure that you are looking at not just the devastation and the carnage that COVID-19 is causing to business and business growth at the moment, but also the potential opportunity there is in your business space now to do what you do but better, to make that change that you've been wanting to do for a long time. Don't just rest on your laurels and be another statistic. So I'd love to know if you're actually making any changes currently to adapt to COVID-19. Alternatively, if you do need any help, you've got any questions, do feel free to put it in the comments and I'll be trying to get back to as many people as I can. So like I say, yeah, let me know in the comments and I'd love to hear them.